Hey, here we are on a Monday. Welcome back to you. Brand new week, brand new topic. How many of you are tired? Tired of arguing with your kids? Arguing over, hey, I thought you said you were going to pick up your room, to, hey, these are not the grades that we agreed to, or you're not studying enough, or look at this test grade, or you said you were going to get your homework done. So there's a lot of academic stuff, but there's a lot of stuff, I'm sure, around the home too, that when you think about it, those arguments basically boil down to you're not taking responsibility for doing what you said you were going to do. And because of that, now you have to be the enforcer as the parent. You no longer get to, and you start taking things away, some of the privileges that you thought your kids were getting because they were doing all the things that they were supposed to do. And that puts you in a tough position as a parent, because all of a sudden now you become the adversary versus the person that you would love to be, right? Which is the happy parent, the one that has this wonderful positive relationship. And it can't be that way 100% of the time. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that the older your kids grow, the older they become, the more you're moving towards adulthood. And what that means for you parents is that the relationship that you have with your kids right now is building towards what it's going to be when they're adults. So you can't let the arguments continue to build and continue to build, because over time it knocks down the relationship. So what are you going to do? Number one, think about what you're asking of your kids and whether or not it's realistic. Have to be objective. Okay? Is it realistic to be asking for, if you want to say the grades right now, the particular grades that you're expecting? If you do, and that's a whole separate discussion that we can talk about at another time, but if you do come to the conclusion that what you're asking for is realistic, then let's define it to a specific time frame. Every month, don't wait for the entire report card to come out. You're talking about 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 12 weeks before you get into the report card. Don't wait that long. Go for the informal progress report every 4 weeks. And here's how it works with this one particular example. We agreed to, and the we is you and your child, that these would be the grades. And again, this is probably more relative to middle school and high school than younger ages, but you're getting ready, folks. You're getting ready, parents of younger kids. We agreed that these were the grades that you said that you thought were realistic, and we agreed to that. And now that we see the grades, great. Because of that, you get to, and whatever you get to go out and spend time with your friends on the weekend. You get to do the horseback riding lessons that we've been paying for. You get to whatever it is. Okay, then it comes as more of a reward. It's no longer the punishment if they don't get it. You're not giving it to them. It's just that they haven't earned it. Subtle. But you change the dynamics a little bit, and it just becomes a contract between you and the child. Okay, here's the tricky part. When they don't meet the expectation, then you have to be the one to say, hey, this is what we agreed to. You didn't live up to your end of it. So, there's no, whatever the consequence was, the positive consequence. There's no arguing. The thing is, there can be no second chances either. I'm going to give you a week to pull up your grades. No. This is it. You define the time frame. It's every month, right? And next month, they'll have a brand new opportunity. We'll look at the grades again, and then we'll talk about, what are those consequences going to be if you meet the expectation, because you already know they're not. What it comes down to there, parents, is you need to mean what you say what you mean. Okay? The kids learn a very valuable lesson there when they're not giving the second chances. They know that when you say something, your word is good. You hold true to the word. And that becomes more and more important for kids as they get older. They need to know that when you tell them something, you mean it. Right? It's not an empty threat. And let's just put the whole threat thing aside for a second. It's just these were the expectations. We both agreed to them. We know what the consequences are when you meet them. We know what the consequences are when you don't. There's no arguments there. The arguments come in when it's second or third chances, and then you told me you would, and Get rid of all that. Okay? There's a defined time frame. You either meet it or you haven't. It's very cut and dry. So that's just the academic arena. But you do the same thing with, these are the jobs that I expect you to do around the house. Okay? If you don't meet the expectation, this happens. If you do this happens. Get rid of all the arguments. Just be very clear what it is that you're asking, that it's realistic for them to achieve in the given amount of time, and then make it very cut and dry. When that time frame is up, you look, there's evidence, they've completed it, they haven't, then there's consequences, positive or negative. Okay? Try and do that with at least one area that you feel like is becoming a real struggle for you and your kids. Get rid of the arguments, get back on track. Okay? Positive relationship. Hey, big Monday show. Hope to see you back the rest of the week. Take care of yourself.